Hello ladies, hello gents. Thank you for being here today. My name is Muriel Skender, and on today's video we are going to be talking about the reasons why relationships and marriages do not last in the 21st century and often end in divorce or separation. So we are going to dive right in. The number one reason why marriages do not last in the 21st century is because of intention. What is your intention? And when I talk about intention, what I mean by intention is that why are you getting married to this person? What is your reason for getting married to this person? Because the intention of everything that you do in life, it's going to determine the course of that thing. Why do you want to get married to this person? Are you getting married to this person because you see a friend of yours is already married? Are you getting married to this person because you feel like there is something in your life that is not going on right and you're not very happy within yourself and you think marriage is going to solve the problem? Are you getting married because you feel like, oh, you are financially down and this person that you're getting into this relationship with has enough money that can cater for your needs and the needs of your children that are going to come? Are you getting into this relationship or this marriage because this person, you just like the idea of being married, you just like the idea of that person, but not the person himself? Because there are some times that you can see someone and you like the idea of them, you like the idea of what they can give to you, what they can bring to you, other than really taking time to like the person for who they are. So your intention for getting married or for getting into a relationship is really very important, because when you sit down and ask yourself, why do I want to do this? Do I want to do this because I have seen people on the gram and they're clinging to each other and I feel like, oh, I'm going to look good with somebody like that? Is that the reason why? Because when you ask yourself questions like this, then you know whether it is the right time for you to get married or it is the right time for you to get into that relationship. You have to understand that marriage is a lifetime commitment. You don't have to get married to someone because the girl next door or the boy next door is married. You have to know that there is going to be things that you would do in order to make it work. So, are you ready to get in? What is your intention? Marriage is a commitment. It is a decision that you not only make the day that you were engaged or the day that you're walking down the aisle. It is something that you make, it's a decision that you make every waking moment. People do not understand the love language of their partner. You have to understand your partner's love language. Some people, their love language is an act of service. Another person is an act of touch. You understand? So say for example that you're with this woman, right? And you know within your heart of hearts that you are treating her the best way that you can, but she's never satisfied. She's not satisfied because you do not know her love language yet. You are treating her the way you think that she needs to be treated. You are treating her the way that you want to be loved, but that is not the way she wants to be loved. Most women, I for one, my love language is an act of service. When my husband does things for me, very little things, that excites me. I know that he loves me because he's doing those things. Other people, they want you to talk to them. They want you to touch them, So it is totally different for every person. You need to know who you're with. And you need to study them to know that this is the way they want to be loved. If you are not able to study them and understand, then it's always better to ask, how do you want to be treated? What can I do for you that's going to make you happy? Because something that is making person A happy is not necessarily the same thing that is going to make person B happy. This is so important, because sometimes some men go out there and lavish their wives with all these gifts. Meanwhile, that is not what they really need. They might enjoy the gift once in a while, but that does not speak to their soul. You need to do things for people that is speaking to them, because everybody is unique. So speak to that thing that is about them. Speak to their emotions, speak to their soul. That way you can know that, okay, this is what I have done for this person, and you will save your marriage. The 5 love languages, they include physical touch, words of affirmation, quality time, acts of service, and giving gifts. So you need to find out which one speaks to your spouse. If 3 of them speak to them, do all 3. However you want to do it, but you need to figure it out, because these are the things that people make mistakes in. And you see a couple and you think that everything is going on well for them, and people who are looking from outside in, they feel like this man or this woman is doing everything humanly possible for this person, but they are not happy because they are ungrateful. No, they are not ungrateful. You're just not doing what speaks to them. You're just not serving them the way they want to be served, because that is what it all boils down to. You have to serve people the way they want to be served, not the way you think that they should be served, or not the way you think that you want to be served. This will take us to the next point, which is acceptance. Before you decide to get married to someone, you need to accept them first for who they are. Because if down the line this person changes, it is a bonus for you. It is not something that you have to go into saying that, oh, I'm going to change this person. No. Because the person that you see, that is what you get. I'm going to say this especially to women, right? When we meet a guy, most often, we are looking at this guy and we really, really want to be with this guy. We love this guy already. We are crushing on this person. But then we are looking at the person and we're like, his hair, I don't like his hair. I'm going to take that off. His nose, I don't like the way his nose looks. We're going to fix that. His teeth are so brown. His teeth are not really aligned. We're going to fix that. Oh, take a look at his shoes. These shoes that this man is wearing, I don't like his style. I don't like his swag. We will change that. The way he smells, I don't like it. We will change that. But you forget to understand that what a man really needs is for you to accept him. You have to accept him for who he is. If not, you're already setting yourself up for failure, because it is not going to work. Now, don't get me wrong. I am not saying that you cannot change this person, okay? Or the person cannot change down the line. I am just saying that you have to accept them for who they are, especially when it comes to women. You have to accept this man for who he is. And in order to be able to accept someone, you have to understand the difference between a man and a woman. When God created the heaven and earth, right? He created everything and he said it was good. But when he created a man, he said, no. This one, he needs a helpmeet. Understand that I said a helpmeet. A helpmeet, those are 2 different words. Help and meet. Help, which means help, and meet, which means adaptation, nurturing. That is who we are as women. You understand? We are helpmeet. So, when you meet this person and you're with the person, you got to understand that, okay, there's a difference between a man and a woman. When man was made, when man was created, what he saw was work, because God told him, name the birds, name the trees, name everything that you find. But when a woman was created, what did she see? She saw a man, and she saw every other thing that was already created in the world, right? So she came in and she was already self-satisfied. And she came in and she found love, which is what the man was giving to her. You understand? That is why there's that difference between a man and a woman. A man, on one hand, is a warrior. A woman, on the other hand, is a nurturer. So when you meet this person and you want to have a relationship, or you want to marry this person, and then you're thinking about all the things that you want to change, that is where his warrior nature just come in. Because if you come to his face, right, he's going to fight you, even though he knows that this thing that you're trying to say is going to benefit him. He will fight you because he is a warrior. The only way that he can change is by you first of all accepting him for who he is. Then, if there are some things that you have seen that, oh, you don't like about him, but if you come beside him like the help me that you are, then he can listen to you. Say, for example, he's putting on an outfit that you don't like. What you can do is you can go into the closet, pick out something else, right? And bring it to him and tell him, babe, can you try this on with this one and let's see how it's going to work. When he tries it on, you ask him, okay, which one do you like better? He will tell you. Then you will say, oh, I think this one is gonna work better with this one for the kind of occasion that you're going to. Then he will listen to you and change into what you want. Say for example that he is not the kind of person that eats properly, right? If you're just telling him that, oh, you eat like a pig, or you're doing this like a pig, you're just insulting him, he will never change. But if you come at him and be like, oh babe, I saw this culinary skills, or I saw this thing that people are trying to eat with forks and knives and all these things, and I want to try it, let's do it together and see how we can go, so that when we go out, we know what kind of fork to use for what fork goes for salad and what spoon goes for what. Now you're doing it together like an adventure. That's the time that you're spending together, and that way you will teach him how to eat properly without you fighting him. You understand my point, family? Another reason why marriages and relationships fail a lot in the 21st century is because people do not love themselves. Because if you do not love yourself from within, there is no way that you can genuinely give love unto another person, because you cannot serve from an empty cup. You need to be full of love for yourself. You need to be full from within. That way you can be able to pour out love to somebody else, because you cannot give what you don't have. So that is why on most of my videos, I always emphasize that you need to have a very high esteem. You need to take the time out and sort out whatever insecurities that you have, so that you can become this genuinely happy person. That way you can meet someone and then you can share with them. Because there are times that we take things in marriages and in relationships because we do not love ourselves. We can be abused and we'll sit in there and just be there because we do not even know better. We can be cheated upon and we do not see anything wrong with it because we genuinely do not love our own selves. Because if you love yourself enough, there are some things that you will not take from your partner, because you know that those things are not right. But when you don't know better, you don't do better. That is why everything crumbles, because those foundations, they are not being built. Takes us to the next point, right? The next point is competition. And I cannot overemphasize this. I say it especially to the women. Yes, men also have these high competitive skills where they compare their women to another woman, but it is rampant among women. You see, a woman will sit with the husband or will sit with the partner, and all she can do is compare this man to another person. When you start comparing your man to another man, you are killing him faster than a heart attack. Because men do have ego. That is what they have. That is what every man has. Some egos are really bad, but most often men have ego, and that is what they will protect with everything that they got. So when you're comparing this man to another man, you're simply telling that man that this thing, that who you are is not enough. I do not accept you for who you are. And the things that you're doing, other men are out there doing way better. That is not how you encourage someone. Say for example that you see a man out there that is doing great things, you understand, and you feel like your man is capable of doing those things. There is no reason on planet Earth for you to come and be comparing the two people, because everybody that was called on the earth has a purpose and has something that God created them for. So what you need to do is to feed into this man in such a way that he can become all that he was called to be, rather than competing, rather than taking him and comparing with another man. Because when you start comparing your man with some other man, you're ruining your relationship. And that is why most marriages fail, because a woman will sit at home and tell the husband, say for example the husband's name is John, and she goes out there and she sees Dave doing all these great things, and she'll come and be like, oh, why can't you be like Dave out there who is doing so and so thing? Why are you just sitting here wasting your life, wasting your time? You're insulting the man's personality. You're insulting the man's ego. And that way he's going to fight you. And when he starts fighting you, that is how you're ruining your relationship, because you don't know how to talk to this man to bring everything out of him. When you speak to a man gently, when you speak to a man in such a way that he can see reason with you, then you will not have problems like this. So it is very important for us ladies to know that our men were called differently. No two people are the same. So you have to pour into that man for him to be able to come all that he was called to be, rather than you competing. Because when you start competing, it leads to a whole lot of problems. You cannot do this. I have seen too many cases where women are comparing their men with other men, and it has never turned out to be good. So please, we gotta stop this practice of competition. Last but not the least reason why marriages and relationships fail, because people do not play their roles. A man was called to be the head, women, and men, the woman was called to be your helpmate, not the head. So when people go into relationships and they start struggling for power, you understand, that is when they start having a lot of problems, which leads to the doom of that marriage or that relationship. Because if you know your role as a man and the woman knows her role as a woman, and everyone plays their role, then there is no need for contention. Because when you have all this contention, that is how problems start arising, which is something that we do not want. So as a man, you need to work on yourself to a point where you are a leader enough for a woman to just want to submit to you. You understand? Because when you have made yourself to that man that God had created for him to be the way he is, then it is very simple for a woman to submit to you, because she is submitting to somebody that is a leader. And women, when you're choosing a man to call your own and say that this is my man, you have to choose someone that you know that you can respect. You have to choose someone that you know is a leader. You have to choose someone that you can submit to, because you cannot go into a relationship and start putting on the pants in that relationship, because you have to blame yourself for wanting to put yourself in the pants because you do not pick properly. That is why it's always good to vet a man before being with that man. Thank you guys for watching to this video. Please do not forget to hit that subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell, that way you know when new videos are being uploaded, and share with your friends. Sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. Thank you guys, and have a fab one.